There's a moment in every person's life when they begin to wonder, why do I chase what never fills me? Why do I feel hollow after the very things I thought would make me feel alive? Carl Jung once said, "A man cannot stand a meaningless life, so we search. We chase thrills, attention, seduction, power, and we call it desire. But more often than not, it's desperation in disguise. Lust is one of the most powerful forces in the human psyche, but it is also one of the most misunderstood. It's not just about sex. It's not just about sex. Lust is the hunger for anything that drowns out our emptiness, attention, beauty, validation, noise. It pulls you outward when what you truly need is to go inward. You see, Jung didn't just study the mind. He studied the soul. And he knew something modern society forgot. What you don't confront in yourself will control you, and nothing reveals that more than how we relate to lust. Lust is the shadow dressed in perfume. It speaks in promises that you'll feel wanted, powerful, alive. But after the rush fades, you're left with something worse than emptiness, self-abandonment. The truth is, lust isn't about others. It's about our disconnection from ourselves. We chase bodies because we can't sit with our own. We chase pleasure because pain terrifies us. We chase validation because we fear being invisible. But here's what Jung discovered. Every time you avoid your inner world, your outer world begins to fall apart. When you live from lust, you live from hunger. And hunger makes you weak. It blinds you to truth, it trades your focus for fantasy, and it keeps you locked in a loop where you always need more, but never feel enough. But when you stop giving into lust, something unexpected happens. At first, you feel like you're dying. The cravings scream. The mind runs wild. The silence is deafening. But then, stillness begins to whisper. And for the first time, you begin to hear your real self. Not the one chasing, not the one performing, but the one who has always been watching, waiting for you to return. That return is the beginning of power, true power. The kind that doesn't come from dominating others, but from mastering yourself. Jung said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will rule your life and you will call it fate." Lust isn't your fate. It's a symptom of the unconscious running your life when you become conscious of it, not by judging it, but by understanding it. You transform it. You stop being seduced by what is shiny, and you start being moved by what is sacred. This is where most people stop, because it's hard. It means feeling what you've been avoiding. It means facing the parts of you that feel unworthy, unloved, unseen. But if you can face that and not run, you unlock a force more attractive than anything lust could offer, presence. You become unshakable, unbothered, undistracted. And that's when the world starts to respond differently. That's when opportunities start flowing. That's when respect deepens. That's when energy, once wasted on fantasies, returns to fuel your purpose. Lust drains. Purpose replenishes. Jung believed the energy trapped in lust could be transmuted into something divine. He called this individuation, the process of becoming whole. Every time you resist that moment of instant gratification, you reclaim a piece of yourself. Every time you pause instead of pursue, you become the master, not the slave. You stop leaking power. You stop confusing intensity with intimacy. And you start seeing what most people never do, the sacredness of restraint. Now, this doesn't mean you must live without desire. Desire is beautiful. But when desire owns you, it becomes obsession. When you own desire, it becomes creation. Ask yourself, what if your lust was never about another person? What if it was the soul's cry to be witnessed by you? What if behind every craving was a deeper longing, to be enough, to be seen, to be safe? When you finally give yourself that, you no longer need to beg for it from the world. You walk differently. You speak slower. Your gaze is clear. and your silence is louder than noise. Lust makes you reactive. Stillness makes you magnetic. You begin to attract not through effort, but through energy. Because people feel when someone has faced themselves. They feel when someone has done the inner work, and they respect it, even if they don't understand it. The world surrenders to those who stop chasing it. Because true power doesn't beg, it doesn't seduce, it simply is. It simply is. Carl Jung called this integration, the union of shadow and light. When you stop giving into lust, you stop rejecting your shadow. You look at it, you feel it, you speak to it, and instead of shame, you offer it love. Instead of addiction, you offer it discipline. Instead of escape, you offer it home. This is where alchemy begins. This is where the man becomes whole. This is where the woman reclaims her throne. And the world, the one that used to feel chaotic, loud, and consuming, suddenly bows to your stillness. Not because you dominated it, but because you stopped letting it dominate you. So the next time temptation knocks, don't just resist it. Understand it. Ask it. What are you trying to protect me from? What wound are you covering up? What do you think I'm missing? And then, instead of reacting, respond with consciousness. Because when you stop giving into lust, you don't just avoid destruction. You open the door to resurrection. You meet your highest self. You live with depth, not drama. And you finally see that the world isn't against you. It was simply waiting for you to wake up, to come home, to reclaim your energy, to become a vessel of purpose, not a prisoner of craving. And that is the beginning of everything.